Hello, people. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I think there's some big excitement in the air. I see some people have noticed something about me. Something's a little different tonight. In honor of what I'm tasting, I went out and got a tattoo. Can you see it? Oh, yeah. Looks like I'm going to be wearing that for the next 80 years, God willing. What do you think? And I've been burning the butter. Yeah, but I've been drinking a lot. But I'm trying to find a balance there, you know, between my butter burning and my big belly balance. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the show. I hear something. Oh, I hear something speaking to me. Something speaking deep down. I have been dreaming about this show for many, many weeks. And tonight, it all happens. Tonight is the night. Tonight is the show. Now, just let me do a quick roll call here. Tell me, people, what are you drinking? Do we have some Partida drinkers in the house? Yeah. Oh, and check this out too. I am completely partied up, baby. You should see where else I got my tattoos, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not talking about it yet, anyway. I'm so glad that you all showed up. This is a very big show, and a distillery and a brand that I feel really, really good about. And I've felt good about it for a long time. Wait, I'm just checking out to see who's here. Okay, man. Just reading. Okay, everybody's good. Everybody's got what they need, right? I think so. Good. Okay, so here's where we're at. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited. I'm giddy like a little schoolboy. Now here's a fun thing. CTS Mike. Oh man. CTS Mike, it's great to see you, man. It's been a while. Yeah, everybody's coming in for Old Home Week. I love it. Okay, let me turn this music down just a hair. Los Lobos is beautiful, but they're just a little too loud in my ear right now. Okay, now, so let's talk about a couple of things. I Heart Partida showed up. Of course you Heart Partida, don't we all? Now here's a funny thing. I was lucky enough to be able to go to this distillery 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago. And the wonderful thing was, it was the end of a long day. And unfortunately, well, is it unfortunate? I was at 3 distilleries in one day. I think the first one we went to, the first one we went to was 1146, makers, of course, of I'm drawing a blank. They've made Costa, Weber, Azul, of course, but they make Pura Sangre, they make Don Fulano, you know these guys, very big. So we went there at kind of around lunchtime. Then we were gracious, we were lucky enough to have the generosity of Casa Noble at 1137, and we stayed there for like 2 or 3 hours, and we were petted and adored, and we were feted and feasted and liquidized and lovingly handled. Now, imagine I've been to 1146, drinking Asombroso and all the brands that I can drink. I go to 1137 and I'm getting a beautiful Casa Noble special Maximo 7-year anejo blends. And we get on the bus, and the sun is just starting to get to that point in the sky where everything starts turning kind of a burnt orange, like a tequila sunset. And before I know it, I'm walking in the door at Partida with this beautiful burnt orange stucco, and like this, it's just a jewel of a distillery. It was spotless, and they had like their fermentation tank in the floor. I'd never seen that before. You know, like it's in the floor, man. You know, you're looking down on the floor, and you know, it was just beautiful. That from the tour that we took to you know, big garages, you know, big driveways full of agaves, the big loading dock. And then your tasting area was just very, very pretty too. And I have some pictures of that. If you guys want to see it a little later, we can get to that. So, hey Lip, what's up? Partida Dave. All right, everybody's here. Partida Dave has done me a solid, my friends, and he has done all of us a solid, because I am not only tasting Partida Blanco, Repo, and Anejo, but thanks to the generous people at Partida, your Tequila Whisperer, have scored the mighty, and I do mean mighty, Partida Elegante. And I'm really, really excited about that. But I get ahead of myself, don't I? I think it's time for us to take a sip. I think it's time. I've been talking for a little too long, you know. In fact, I've been talking way too long already. I have to start to get into this Blanco. This is great. No, not the fornication tank. That happened. That wasn't at Partida. That was at 1079. Whoa! I'm gonna get in trouble, man. So what I've got here is Zen Runner's digging my Bertha. So first off is the beautiful Partida Blanco. Now, Partida friends, tell us how. What was the year? What was the first year that Partida was introduced? I feel like it was like 2006, 2005. And did you come out with all three ages at the same time? I think you did. I don't quite remember. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to give myself a beautiful pour here. Yeah, you know, I'm giving myself a really beautiful pour. Tequila Joe! Hey, Tequila Joe showed up! Right on, Tequila Joe! Yeah, okay, I thought it was 2005. Okay, so all the oh, I gotta show you guys the coolest piece of Partida swag that I got. Look at this! I got this gorgeous Partida rubber bar mat, man! Look at it! You all want one! I'm thinking of like putting a little light right here so I can shine a light down and hang this up. But this is for work, not play tonight. I'm making some cocktails, people, and I don't want to hear about it. I'm making them, and I said I can, and I'm going to. So everybody back off of me and my rubber mat. We got stuff to do. All right. So I've poured this beautiful Blanco. Now let me just get a little into it, my little friends. Let me check out this. The Partida legs, the spirit bird legs. All right, so I'm getting beautiful pearls. These legs haven't even started to drip down yet. They're just starting now. Now, the thing with Partida is, and I always describe it this way, and I want to be very clear because it's not a criticism at all. I describe Partida as one of, I think, the best modern method tequilas that has an old world taste. Now, what do I mean by modern method? They use autoclaves, so we're not talking about Horno steam ovens, and they use a shredder. We're not talking about a Tahona. But in all of that modern method, I believe that it's very easy to lose the guts, the spirit, the beauty of the pure and raw agave, cooked agave into a spirit. I see it time and time again. I'm tasting new brands that are, you can just tell they're just made in a cheaper way. And T-Dog's going, sipping time, shut up, Lip. I know, Rasta showed up. Right on, Rasta. Right on. So, that's what I say. I love the modern method. Now, let me take a sip of this Blanco. First, let me take a sniff. See, the beautiful part about this Blanco is it's got a lot of what I would call like spicy, sweet herbs, and I even get a little bit of fruit in there. I'm getting like a little bit of citrus in the nose, but it's more like a very kind of deep, dark, or deep bottom sweetness to it. So what are you guys saying about your Blanco? Who else is drinking the Blanco? Rasta? Oh, man. So, it's great. You know, it sits on the tongue, and now I'm getting that finish. And I'm left with like kind of a lingering, a little more spice on the linger, and even a little bit of fruit, like maybe a little bit of citrus coming in there now. But this Blanco, it's not about anything that is rammed down your throat, or it's a very well-rounded, a very complex Blanco. And it all plays well together. Now, when I first tasted Partida, I'm trying to remember, I must have heard something about it that made me buy a bottle, because it's expensive. When it first came out, at the very least, it was like $45-ish for the Blanco, and the anejo was up to, you know, it depended. I mean, I've seen this anejo go for $80. Well, I've seen places ask for 80. I haven't ever seen it go for 80, but I'm sure it does. And I think in general, it likes to sit around $65. So for me to buy this, it was a stretch at that point. You know, I was going like $45 for this Blanco. All right, that puts it, you know, up on the top, baby. That puts it up on the top of my top, you know, my top 5. What would I pay $50 for? You know, I pay $50 for Fortaleza. Now, Fortaleza, as compared to Partida, it's not fair. It's not the same. It's not a good comparison, because that Fortaleza, you know, talk about old world, old school, all the way down the line. And you can taste it in the complexity of that Blanco. This Blanco, well, I just have to concentrate for a second. I know that you just want to hear me wax poetic about Partida, but hold on. Listen, Partida is... I'll try to explain a little more, but I hope a lot of you are drinking it or you have tasted it. You know what I'm talking about. It's got a wonderfully balanced, well-rounded mouthfeel. It's a complete go-to tequila for me. I mean, if I'm watching TV and I've got a little tequila on the side, you know, there are many times I'll go to my bar. I know a lot of you people are the same way. And I'll open a bunch of different bottles, right? And to see which one is speaking to me tonight. What do I want to drink? And I don't always start with a Blanco, but lots of times I do, and kind of go up the line. And most times, when I stop at Partida in my rounds of sniffing, or when I pass by Partida, I stop. Because it's always like, oh, and it's almost always the first one. There's always time for Partida. In fact, this is your new tagline. There's always time for Partida. There is. There's always time to take a sip. This stuff is so inviting. Oh boy, I'm getting some lingering heat, like that beautiful tequila massage right here on the back, in the middle of my throat. It's like little Partida elves, little hot, very warm Partida elves in their little warm snowsuits. No, what am I saying? In their snowsuits in the middle of the Jaliscan highlands? Not the highlands. Larubis, get off my ass about that. He's going to jump on me in a second. I know it's not a Highlands tequila. All right. Funny, I like the Blanco after having others. It seems to bring out the nuances. Hey, listen, you know, at the risk of sounding like a kiss ass, I know what you mean. Partida can completely be a palate resetter. I've used it for that as well. I've gone around sometimes. Lots of times I'll come after something that I feel is very smoky, or something that is really has been a very fuerte kind of taste. And I'll come back to Partida, also because it's very familiar. I drink it so often that You know, it's nice to kind of reset, take me back where I need to be. This Blanco is working overtime, people. Overtime. Right? So Larubis is saying, so you guys are not selling Partida in Mexico. That's a drag. Yeah, you got to sell that in Mexico. It's good. So, and Larubis, I believe, Larubis, you've tasted this, right? I mean, you must have tasted Partida. I mean, I respect your palate, brother, and I'd love to know what you think about this. It's great. It's just really fucking great tequila. And I'm so happy to be tasting it with you. I've been waiting to do the Partida show since I was born. I was born for this show! And now I'm doing it. All right. Partida is available in Mexico. All right. Well, Larubis, you better start drinking more of it. I didn't realize. Maybe you were talking about something else in the chat. You know, I'm over here doing my thing. It's hard for me to keep up with all you guys. You're having your own party over there, which is great. You were just saying, but it's not easy to find. All right. Fair enough. Now, but I want to go next to the reposado. And I want to feel that and talk about it, and I have a special treat but first I want to sip it neat. Okay? Everybody sock it to me over here. Man, I'm sniffing it out of the bottle. Now here's a funny thing about the Partida Repo. It smells like a distillery to me. It's a wonderful smell. There's a smell that happens, when you walk in, if you're lucky enough to walk into a fabrica, and there's that cooked agave smell. You're lucky if you get it in a Blanco, but lots of times I don't smell it in a Blanco, and I don't think it's the barrel room coming out. There's a certain smell, and this Partida Repo does have essence. It's got essence of the distillery floor. Agave Gal showed up. Hey, Agave Gal. I know you're a fan of Partida. Oh, yeah. Hardcore Lippy. Sniffing. Hey, tamales. That's the way we roll, baby. We get super sniffy. Now, I'm still getting a little finish here, so hold on a minute. Let me it's funny. It's like, let me wash that down. I mean, I don't want to wash it down. It's good. It's good. Yeah, Joe, I was not implying that this is a single barrel. I was just implying that there's like the barrel room smell. There's something about that kind of musty barrel room. But I don't believe that has anything to do with it. Because first of all, most of the time the barrel room is quite far away from the shredder and where they're grinding up the plants, the agaves. So, maybe I misspoke. I certainly don't think that Repo is single barrel either. All right. Hey, did Ray show up? Ray showed up. Thank God, Ray. We were wondering. All right, now let me turn this up a little bit in honor of my Mexican amigos. All right. So, let's check out this Repo a little bit. Oh, got you, Joe. Hard for me to keep up. All right, so now things have been introduced in the Repo, obviously. Well, that spice is still there. The beauty of one of the great beauties I find about Partida is you're tasting the flavor profile that they've managed through the Blanco. Pretty much, it goes all the way up the line. I mean, all the way up the line. And then when you get to Elegante, we're talking about something else. We'll get to that. But so Mike's asking, does a Blanco still go for $45? Yeah, it does around here. Although when I went on my big treasure hunt many months ago, I actually found this store in the central part of California that was having some special on Partida, and they were selling the Blanco for $22.95. And you can bet your sweet tequila ass that the Lip, I think I bought 8 bottles, 9, I think I bought 8. I bought 8 bottles of that Blanco. Because, come on, $22.99? Get the fuck out of here. Partida is so clean you can eat your dinner on the floor. Oh, whatever, baby. All right, now this Repo. Let me give it a taste here. 8 bottles, baby. Standing there by the tequila. Ken Moody showed up. What about Ooh and Sh-t-t-t? Wow. This just spread out. So in this Repo, definitely getting fruit. I'm getting a lot more. She's almost like a. Let me think about it. I have to think. I don't know if it's stone fruit or something more like a little pear, kind of not apple. I'm not getting it so much on the nose. But it's funny, boy, this thing just spread out like that when I tasted that Repo. Who else is drinking the Repo? And then you die. A little piece of heaven in a glass. Yeah, okay. Here's what I want to do. I hope everybody is going to go with me on this one. All right, here's what I want to do. I'm going to make this is a first for the Tequila Whisperer show. I'm going to make a cocktail right here, live, on the air. I'm making a Partida Margarita, but I'm adding a little lip love to it, and I'll tell you about that when I do it. Now, hold on a second, because I got to go get the ice. All right, hold up. Hey, the Lip's back. All right, everybody, stand tight. Now, Ray's checking out the Repo. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. All right. Okay, so I'm going to make the Partida Repo, the Partida Margarita, and it's this is going to be all beauty. All the time. So, I've got my margarita glass here. Now, you'll notice I've salted it. I'm a fan of salt. The true margarita recipe, as informed to me by the Partida marketing, I've got tons of really cool, printed matter here that's giving me the recipe. They call, and I'm using my bar mat too. This is great, right, Sarah? Thank you so much. I'm using my bar mat. So totally says a very intense flavor. I'm so glad you guys are all drinking it. Do I T-Dog? What the fuck? Do I have the nectar? Shut up. Of course I got the nectar. All right, now get down, Lippy. Go with what you know. Yes, I'm going down with what I know. Now, woo! Now, let's just get to it. I'm not fucking around here. All right, so got my glass. Now, I want to pour. Oh, I got a great shaker. Look at this. I got this in Seattle. This is a gorgeous vintage shaker. So what I'm going to do, the recipe, I'm following this recipe pretty much to the letter. Because I just, let's see what happens when the Lip follows to the letter. So, the first thing I need to do is I'm putting in, I'm putting in an ounce of lime juice. All right, so I got my little jigger. Oh, yeah. So I'm trying not to get any on the microphone. Zen Runner, you can appreciate my dilemma. All right, so I got about an ounce, and I just fresh squeezed these limes, people, right? Okay, and now I'm going for 3/4 of an ounce of Partida 100% organic agave nectar. But before I do that, the lip. Oh. Oh. Yes. You guys, think about buying some of this, okay? Think about it if you don't have it. It's good. I know there's a lot of nectars out there. And for all I know, this is, well, let's ask them. Partida folks, is this actually coming from your agaves? Or is this, did you buy it in bulk and put your name on it? Be honest with us. Tell us. All right. All right, that's about 3/4 of the nectar. Now let me just put a tiny bit of snort some. I tell you, I almost would. Just putting a little tequila to wash out that nectar bowl. You know, you can't have your bowl dirty. 420. All right, now I'm putting in a little water. It asks for about 3/4 of pure water. I've purified water in the well of souls. And I'm putting that in there. Oh, yeah. And I see my margaritas take a long time because I take them real seriously now. There's only one more ingredient, which would be, oh, I'm doing it with the repo, baby. Spartida's running down to get her nectar. You better go get your nectar. Ow! 420. Come on. You guys aren't smoking enough dope. Now, it's asking for, now here's the thing, it's asking for 1.5 ounces of Partida Repo. Get out of here. 1.5. That's for pussies. We're going for the big O. All right, so, oh, that was a joke when I was finishing up my thing. The lip says this is about, that's a good margarita's worth. Now, the last thing I want to do is I got to put the ice in. Where's my ice? Here it is. All right, I'm almost done here, folks. Okay, so let me shake this baby up. Really get it all good, wet and wild. I could lick the frost off that thing. All right. Now, let's get the lid off here. Now I'm going to pour this into my love glass. Oh yeah, now, it ain't never finished till it's got a garnish. Now, the one thing that the lip likes to add, the one thing that the lip kind of goes freeform on, right? And I hope that you guys are watching closely. What is this? This is Canton ginger liqueur. The lip likes to put a floater. Call me crazy, but I like to put a little floater of ginger. Everybody back off. Oh. Just let me float that right. Oh, just that, you know, that's it. I just want a kiss. A kiss of ginger. Oh. Whoops. Good thing I got my bar mat. Yeah, yo sé perer. You guys are into Los Lobos, yes? All right. So, let me clean up here just a tiny bit. Now, let's taste that Partida. Look at that margarita. I call it a Partida Lippy. I know that's not my final name. Maybe we can have a contest in the archives. Let's think of something good. You guys are all creative, and you ladies. I mean, my goodness. And we got all the Partida marketing people here. Let's make a drink here, baby. I'm telling you. A little floater. All right. We'll do a little deal with Canton. All right, here we go. Oh, man. Okay. I got to tell you, I was not prepared for it to be this good. You know, because I have parties and, you know, I make drinks for everybody. And like half of the crowd goes absolutely, more than half, I'll say. They go crazy for my drinks. And the other third, they're going like, oh, that's really strong. Like, oh. But they say that on the first drink. By the second drink, I completely have them in my grasp. You know what I mean? Lipperita. Lippy. Parlippa. The ginger lip. Now that is completely working for me, dude. What are you, a marketing guy? That's a really good name. The ginger lip, of course. It makes complete sense. It's the ginger lip. I'm telling you, just do a tiny little floater. Not a lot, because that ginger can overpower. I mean, I hope you saw how little I did. I mean, I did the equivalent of the amount of vermouth you'd put in a dry martini. You know, just enough. So the lime is pretty wonderful in that drink. The balance of lime to sweet, because I definitely err on the more tart side of my margaritas, and the reason I did it with the Repo as opposed to the Blanco is I wanted the Repo to bring in a little bit more of that kind of woodiness. You know, when I was tasting these before the show, I thought, like, you know, let's do that. Let's go for a little more wood, and I made that pretty strong. So. I made it really strong. Look, this was a full bottle. Now, I note that on the Partida website they give props to Julio Bermejo of Tommy's. As you know, I don't have to tell you Bay Area people. So, you know, the best margaritas in the world are Julio's, especially when Julio's making them himself. So. You know, props to Julio and Tommy's, my spiritual cousin brothers. But you got to try the ginger lip. This is so cool. I'll have to do a little drawing of what ginger looks like, because I feel like this is a beautifully feminine drink that is working overtime. Agave says tart is the way to go. I know that about you, Agave gal. You little tart. Don't go sweet. I know. All right, now, I could sit here and drink that drink, which I will eventually. But before I destroy my palate, I really have some places that we must go together. So, let's go there. Now, let's talk about Big Daddy. This is Partida Anejo. Now, this is aged 18 months in Jack Daniel's casks. I forget, I think the Repo is 6 months, which is actually kind of where the light touch, I think, comes in on that Repo. Why it's got a lighter touch, and you still taste a lot of the Blanco coming through. But as I said, you know, it really stretched out, you know what I mean? Like the flavor, and I was completely digging that flavor. So Rasta is digging the añejo. All right, so I think a lot of people are going to come up on this añejo and go like, hey, Lip, that añejo is completely working for us. I know. When you start to get into this añejo, this is where things, for me, start to change. I had this for the first time at a party a couple years ago. And it was a cast party. I was in this musical. Can you believe it? I was singing and dancing. And we had a cast party, and everybody knew I liked tequila. And I wish I could tell you what I brought to the party. Honest to God, I don't remember. I brought but it was some treasure bottle is what I brought. And somebody brought a bottle of Partida here, anejo. And I had not had it up to that point, or I'd had it once, but it wasn't a serious tasting. I'm going to tell you something. That night changed everything about how I felt like Partida, the Blanco was really speaking to me, and I thought the Repo was good, but I found it in the middle of someplace, and I didn't really remember tasting the anejo. But I'm going to tell you something. I started drinking it that night. Of course, I was drinking it neat. I think I had a couple of mandarin orange slices every once in a while. I wasn't eating, because I don't really like to eat when I drink. That's my thing. I like to taste. I don't like to eat when I'm drinking tequila. Tequila, to me, is its own thing. It's dinner. Tequila! It's what's for dinner. So, let me pour this while I keep talking. Ow! Yeah! So, here's the thing. I was drinking this stuff, and the more I drank, the more complexities were becoming present and present and present in the Repo and the anejo. And I was struck mostly by the complex spices. And I mean that. I think you guys are aging your stuff to a super high degree of complexity and subtlety. And I think the lip is going to go out on a limb here. This is about you tell me if I'm wrong, this is about a $65 anejo. And the lip says it's worth it. It's worth it. And if you don't think it's worth it, I'm going out even on a longer limb. It's because maybe you're not ready for it. What can I tell you? I don't want to be a snob or a bitch, but... All right, so now I'm getting... Well, there's an invitation and an introduction to vanilla coming now that really wasn't there before. I'm getting much more like vanilla. Now, but here's the thing. It's still got that beautiful Blanco spice from all the way back in the Blanco, man. I mean, here's the Blanco. Now, this is super agave sweet. And we're going somewhere else here. We've moved over, but I can detect it. It's much more complex. It's wonderful aging. Right, so Partida Dave says 60 to 65. Maybe you can buy it online in bulk and get a 10% off price, get a case price. They don't make a difference. Listen to me. You guys should hire me. Listen, everybody should be buying cases of Partida. I know I sound like a monkey, but come on, how often do I get to taste one of my absolute favorite brands? And the beauty is you guys have distribution down to just a fantastic rocket. It's everywhere. Everywhere you go in the United States, in general, you're going to find Partida. It's fantastic. You've become the Hornitos of the gourmet set. And I mean that in the best way, because you can find Hornitos in Idaho, in Bobby's supermarket, and you can find it down at the gourmet, Whole Foods. Oh, SHIT has showed up. Fantastic. She'll pay me an anejo. No, my darling, you may pay me an Elegante. At cost. Yes, it's available in Texas. I'm reading this out. Okay, so I've come off that margarita, which was sweet. And I know I took a chance there with my palate. I took a chance, but it was fun, and it was so worth it. And I've used my bar mat now, and I've stained my little keyboard pad, which is fun. But what I did was I sweetened my palate a little bit. So this anejo is not I'm not quite. I didn't go back to 0. Let me go back to 0 here a minute. All right, hold on. Oh, so Tequila says Partida Crew. The older bottles have black letters. That's all right. And also, have you noticed the original? I have one here. I have one in the bathtub. I have one in my secret stash bathtub. I have an original Partida Blanco, and it's got a smaller. It's another way to note. It's got a smaller wooden cap on the top. So you see, you guys think I'm messing around, and oh, he says he likes every brand. No, I'm telling you, I have an original first edition Partida. A fun thing would be to open it and do a side-by-side tasting, but I'm just like you guys. I got to find a second first edition. Oh, God, I know where one is. I know where one is. Wow. Maybe I should do that. Shoot. I should do. Well, they're both going to be, yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm thinking out loud. Forgive my mental processes. But I'm a nerd. I'm a tequila nerd, baby. But I know where there's a first run Partida Blanco, Repo, and Anejo. I just saw it. So Tequila Joe, don't go into Mill Valley looking for it, because all my treasure hunt friends here, they know where I live. But no, I did see all three. They were expensive. It was like the Blanco was $45. It was tough, but I might do it. For you guys, I might do it. All right. Those bottles were made at a different manufacturer. Same juice. Great. All right. Very cool. Tequila says, bring it out. Let's see which one is a little darker. Joe, really? You mean, what? Well, all right. I'll bring it out. All right. Hold on. Cool. You guys are great. Okay, so here it is. It's cool. It's been in the bathtub. All right, hold on. Just let me put my glasses on so I can read some information to you. Okay, so... All right, well, so here's something. Partida friends. Yes, she said... Well, wait a minute. All right, she said those bottles were made at a different manufacturer, different bottling plant. Does my bottle have a logo? It does not have a logo. And only one side on the Partida medallion. That's correct, Joe. That's correct. Let's see the new Partida medallions. Right. New Partida medallions are both sides. Look, Joe, I have a good one. Do I have a good one? Tell me more. Tequila Day or Partida Dave. Okay. So this is bottled... This is imported by Tequila Brands in Jericho, New York. Definitely a first one from China. From China! Fucking yes! Let's open it right now! How much you guys want to how much you want to pay for this? I'll ship it to you. No. We all have to have a party. All right, so what else can I tell you? Produced and bottled by David Partida. Hold on. I don't know what else to tell you. So how am I doing? Definitely a first. All right. I guess that's it. I guess that's good. And look, I still have the hang tag on it. So here, just so you guys see, here's the comparison. So this is the first run. Look, you can even see the Spirit Bird is bigger. Can you see that? And look at the size of the tops. This is the first edition. This is the current. Oh yeah, look at this. Here's something else. Those bottles came from China, according to Gary. Excellent. Okay, so very interesting. A Chinese bottle. Very interesting. Because the back of the new one, certainly it says imported by Partida in Manhasset, New York. And just so you guys know, when you're treasure hunting. So first of all, so don't worry about the new one. Treasure hunt, they have different paper as well. A smaller foot on it, like Paradiso. Smaller foot? I don't know what you mean. Maybe it's a... Anyway. Here's the thing. So if you guys are looking for treasure bottles, so what you're gonna, I'll show you in a second. What you're gonna look for is, certainly you want to look for black type. You want to look for a cap that does not meet the lip, the rim of the lip. Okay. The cap, the wooden cap, is smaller, and I'm going to tell you here. I'll show you the import stuff there. So it says imported by David Partida. So that's it. So Sofia, who is David Partida, and who is Enrique Partida? Oh, I can see I didn't quite show it to you guys. Sorry about that. It's hard to know. But anyway, you know, that's the treasure bottle. I'm glad you guys made me get it out. And it's got a smaller foot if I set it down. Yeah, I see what you mean, Joe. I see what you mean. It does. It does. Very cool, though. And it's got a, I don't know if it's a 9 or a 6 on the bottom. All right. So I'm going to go look for, some other of these first edition Partidas. And we'll bring them back on another show. And we'll do a little side by side. And let's just see if it's really the same juice, right? And Zen Runner said, I shouldn't be drinking it if I'm pregnant. Zen Runner, oh my God, Zen Runner's having a baby. David is my cousin, Enrique is his uncle. Got it. Oh, is your uncle, his father. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. That's the family lineage, folks. Now, in all this time, I've had time to kind of reset my palate for the anejo. Let me get back to it here. Oh, they're in Vallejo. So go hunt in Vallejo, and you can find the original first run Partidas. Excellent, Joe. What a stand-up guy you are. That's because you've been drinking Partida. Now, you know Joe has worked for Partida. And I'm happy to tell the folks, Joe, and perhaps you will again. Salud. Okay, so here's what's going on. It was good to reset myself. So there's a sweetness that has been introduced in this añejo, but not at the expense of flavor or certainly complexity. This is the kind of añejo, which I can tell from what you guys have been saying. You've been drinking this. You're familiar with it. It's, dare I say smooth? Of course. It's smooth, but there's more going on there. I'm almost feeling it's almost a cinnamon, or is it a butterscotch that I'm getting out of this? What has happened is a sweetness component came on. I'm trying to identify it, along with the spice that sticks around and the little bit of heat. This didn't get wimpy on me suddenly, and it became a super watery, sweet, nectary thing. That didn't happen. It kept its guts, which is really beautiful. Totally says he's tasting mellow wood. Good description. Sorry, I just took a vacation. This añejo is, the añejo is speaking to me like, excuse me, let me just pause this for a second, because I had a request. I want to play something for a good fan. This añejo is speaking to me like the Blanco does. This is an añejo that I can keep coming back to, and I will keep coming back to, because it's completely inviting. Whereas the Blanco was its absolute own thing, and the añejo is its own, like standing like a totem, like a rock. And I feel like the repo, very respectable, but hey, we're all friends here, right? If I had to go, I'm going to the Blanco, which I totally dig, and I'm going to the añejo. The repo is not bad, and I don't want to say it's a great mixer, because that's dissing it. it's better than just being a good mixer. I mean, it's a damn good mixer for a margarita. I think the Blanco would be a really good one, but I didn't want to do that. But the Repo, it's good, but it's not speaking to me like those two do. It leans a little closer to the Blanco for me. So I don't know. I have a bottle here. I'm going to tell you what. I'll come back and I'll report back, because now that I just cracked this bottle, I will drink this Repo over the next weeks and months, and I'll tell you if it lasts that long. I'll tell you what's my take on it, because sometimes you got to live, as you all know. You got to live with your tequilas, right? What is it? What are they saying to you? I don't know. Some things, they come right up front, and I'm feeling it with that anejo and with that blanco right up in my face. Like, yes, you love me, you want me, you're gonna drink me, and we're gonna taste really good together all night long. We're gonna dance a beautiful partida dance. It's a beautiful thing, and it is. It's nice. And then the Repo comes along and says, "Hey, baby, I'm good too. I've got a little of this and a little of that in me. Let's find out where I fit." So I'm willing to give that a shot. All right, that's where I stand on the Repo right now. Now, I had a request for a little Santana, this song in particular. So this goes out to Tamales by the Bay, and this is how I feel about Sofia Partida and the Partida family as a whole. So, Sofia, your family were involved, or your family was involved in growing agaves for other tequila manufacturers before you made your own brand. Here's a question I've been really wanting to ask you, and anyone who can speak to from the Partida Fabrica. Okay, El Ultimo Agave was a brand that you guys made for a while. And I've tasted it and really liked it. Where did those agaves come from? Did they just use, and I understand the process of using a distillery as a contract distillery. It happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a diss against Partida or anything. It's how you make money. You've got this factory and you rent it out at times and make other people's tequila, and then other times you're making your own home brand. I understand it. But I wondered, where did the agaves come from? Were they coming from your estate, for El Ultimo Agave? I know that it's not made by you anymore. So, if you could answer that, that'd be great. And also, while Ms. Partida is answering that, who's got some music requests? Let's fill them up. Let's go. Okay, so, excellent. Okay, wait. Partida didn't make it at our distillery. But wait, we grew agave for El Ultimo from your estate. But the gnome, then this could be getting into the weeds here. And if it is, tell me. But the gnome said 15, it said your gnome. That's what El Ultimo Agave has on their bottle. Partida didn't make it at our distillery. We're exclusive, but all right. So you made it at another distillery? I don't understand, but maybe you can tell me or send it to me in an email. But it's interesting because I know you don't make that anymore, and El Ultimo Agave has changed gnomes now, obviously. And the juice tastes, I believe it tastes different. And I was on a treasure hunt last weekend, my little friends. What did the Lip find? The Lip found a bottle of El Ultimo Agave from Partida Gnome. So what I'm going to do is the next bargain bottle battle that I do, because right now El Ultimo Agave is at the top of the heap of the new current El Ultimo Agave Repo that is not Partida made. That's at the top of the heap. I'm going to pin that against Centenarios Azul. Okay, but for all of you regulars who are watching, I'm gonna clue you in on a little secret. I'm also gonna pull out this bottle that I just found of the old El Ultimo Agave, because I'm assuming that El Ultimo Agave is still gonna beat Azul. I could be wrong. Maybe Azul is gonna kick its ass, but I'm gonna pull out that old El Ultimo, and let's just do a little head-to-head right there. I'm always thinking of you guys. I know everybody wants to always do a King of the Hill. Up, 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 up. All right. So, Ool showed up. I knew Ool would show up if I waited long enough. Okay. What are you guys talking about? Excuse me. I'm just checking out the chat. El Ultimo is like the Ultimo Fixer. Not much on the repo, but you like the anejo. I've never had the anejo. I find it very difficult to find, but I do remember, I think it was Bevmo, T-Dog. Bevmo had those. Bevmo out here at a discount liquor mart. Okay, well, as far as I know, since Partida has been around, nothing else has been produced there. Well, I don't understand it. I mean, I can show you the gnome on the bottle. Well, anyway, we'll figure that out. I don't want to get off into all that stuff. It was a question. Obviously, Partida supplied the agaves. Very interesting, and that's a big deal. Big enough for me. I'm going to take another sip of this añejo because I've gotten into the weeds and I need to come back and center myself. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Let's take a sip. Let's get out of this the politics of tequila making, and let's get back into the art and craft of tequila making. Thank you. And I'm still waiting for some musical suggestions. Caramel. Almost banana. Not banana like Herradura Repo, especially that pre-diffuser Herradura Repo, which has got super banana going on in it. But it's hard, when you're. So I'm tasting this stuff, and you say, Lip, tell us what's a Lip. Are you tasting hazelnut? It's tough. When it gets really tough is when tequila is made with such a nice balance and complexity as this añejo. It's hard to pick out flavors. I mean, I can smell that and go, yes, I'm smelling like a sweet butterscotch, caramel, and I've tasted those I've smelled those smells before, and I have, but not in this balance and not in this this mix. That's the beauty of tasting a brand against a brand against a brand. Excuse me. Partida has created their own special balance. And I'll say right now, what is speaking to me most about this añejo is that the spiciness, the sweet spice, has stayed with me all the way through the line. And I'm really appreciating it here, where it's just completely integrated into the flavor profile. Yes, my friends. Yes. Drink more. Please drink more. How about a little mariachi? Yes. All right. I can handle that, my little friends. Let's see. What I wish I had, which I don't have, is here's something that's this is a little this is old and norteño. Check this out. Mark Rebo, I've got some Los Cubanos Positanos. Positsos. Yes, I'm just listening along with you all. I love it. How about some 50 Cent? Sorry, I don't have it. I have a pretty wide breadth of music, but it does all kind of seem to stop somewhere in the 80s. I'll admit it. Actually, that's not true. I go up into the 90s even, but I stop somewhere in there. Well, my friends, I think it's time that we had a little talk. Now, you know Partida Tequila is a favorite, and I'm a big fan. And you know I went to the Partida distillery. And you know I tasted the goods. And I was feted and I was feasted with a beautiful Mexican dinner. Mike was there. Who else was there? Jesus, anybody online? I don't know who was there. Boy George, shut up. Witchy just showed up. Witchy was there. Witchy, you remember when we went to Partida? Do you remember the wonderful time we had? And do you remember the last thing that our gracious hosts... Do you remember the last thing that our gracious hosts served us when we went to Partida? We were sitting around the tasting room and we went up from... And you remember that Mark Cannon and everybody was having a wonderful time and people were toasting and somebody smashed a Riedel, because the toast was so boisterous because we were all so excited and happy to be there. Yes, you remember. Excuse me, I'm just looking at that. What did Quinto suggest? I thought he was suggesting music. Anyway, so what did we taste at Partida? We tasted something quite special, and I happen to have a little bit of it. Oh, I happen to have a lot of bit of it right here, right now. I want everybody to pour themselves a glass. I want everybody to sit down, even harder than you're sitting down. And I'm going to play a little something. I feel like no, that's a little too hard. That's not what I want. I'm going to introduce something. I'm going to introduce it, my friends. You know where I'm going. I know you know, but the music is a part of it. The music is a part of it. And I know this song. Wait, what's that song? That's Zeppelin. What is that? What is that song? Because that's what I want to play right now. It's a weird song. It's not Celebration Day, is it? No, it's not that. Come on, who's a Zeppelin freak here? I know that I'm a little ahead of you. There's a lag, but 10 years gone. 10 years gone. It's 10 years gone. It is 10 years gone. Ah, yes, shit, you got it. This is what I wanted to hear. Thank you. All right, is everybody with me? Because I'm pulling something out here. And I had to have the mood right. This is what we like to call Elegante. Okay, now, check out the packaging, my friends. Check out the packaging. So it comes It comes actually in a plastic bag so that you don't ruin the paper, which is guarding the box inside the paper. So I'll try to be as gentle as possible. So we're taking the paper off. It's like undressing. It's like undressing someone you love. Can I go there? Oh yes, do it. Oh, I heard. Did you hear that? Wait. Oh, I heard a little slosh. Oh yeah, so we've got this beautiful metal template. Elegante, extra anejo. So it's got a beautiful magnetic box. See, it's shut with a magnet. Can you hear that? It's like a drum. You can play the drums on this box. Oh, Lip, it's just the packaging. What's inside, dude? I know, but that's like saying a beautiful woman. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go with that metaphor. It's a beautiful metaphor, and it wasn't going to be crude. It's just I can't do it justice. Some things take time, my friends. Some things you have to reach around and open up the beautiful metallic enclosure. Yeah. Hello. What's going on? Yeah. Oh yeah. Raise it up there, buddy. Alright, hello. So I've got this beautiful box here. Excuse me while I put my reading glasses on. Let me read you the text that's on this beautiful picture, the black and white picture. It says, "The blades of the blue agave stretch upward, like fingers reaching out to the heavens. For generations, the Partida family has cultivated the blue agave according to family tradition, with handcrafted care." Now, my particular box came with a beautiful vellum paper certificate. It says, "This is bottle number 2030. Partida friends, tell us how many bottles are made in any given year, or how do you number the bottles of Elegante? Premium Extra Añejo. We are proud to offer you this extraordinary limited production Extra Añejo, Partida Tequila Elegante. The Partida Tequila Elegante is distilled from the finest Partida estate-grown blue agave, carefully selected by Enrique Partida, harvested by hand, of course, and aged for more than 36 months in the finest quality American oak barrels. The Partida Elegante is the most elegant expression of the Partida family of tequilas. The quote, the finest tequila that money can buy, according to F. Paul Pasult, the leading spirits authority in America." Well, I think we got to get F. Paul on the show, right? And it says, "Salud." All right. So I've got bottle number 20. I got bottle 2030. And, Chris Maxwell showed up. Excellent. Hey, Chris. Yes, I'm so glad to see you, buddy. We were talking about going to the Partida Tequila distillery. We use our Elegante bottle as a change jar. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, my friends, it's time to start singing. You want to know why? Because I'm about to unleash this beautiful presentation, and I'm going to take it all the way. So, let me take out my Elegante, bottle number 2030. It's a beautiful crystal. It's not glass. I know it's not glass. And look, it's got a beautiful satin encasement, and it's got this beautiful crystal stopper. Look at that stopper. Can you see it? Somebody's calling me. Should I take it? Is it one of you? Or is it a sales call? Hey, this is Lippy. I'm in the middle of a show. Hello? Hi. I'm in the middle of a tequila show. Are you talking about tequila? Oh, can you leave me a message? Give me a call right back. I'll talk to you soon. Look, what's more important, tequila or getting a job? Okay. Anyway, I'm in the middle of. Come on. What's more important here? All right. Now, let's just keep the Zeppelin going because I am digging it. It's perfect for this. All right. So I got my Elegante. I got my beautiful box. Thank you, boxy heads. All right. I've got my Familia. Look at the color of this, my friends. My friends, you need some white piece of paper. Hold on. Look at that. Can you see how dark this is? That super dark brown honeyed color. All right. Now, estate bottled. Everybody knows where this is going, and it is going. All right. Let me pour a pour of my Elegante. Getting better and better there, Lipster. Yeah. Man, I just took a sniff. It was like habit, like open the cork and sniff. And it took me a second to realize, like, holy shit, what am I drinking here? Wow. Okay, let me do a pour for my friends, for all of you, and to my Partida friends for graciously supplying what we all know is a very expensive bottle. Do I feel a lot of pressure to like this? Yes, I do. Am I going to like it? I don't know. Let's see. How decadent! Yeah! Let me put a top on that. Oh, let me put this top on it. Ooh. Fits really nicely. There's like a little plastic seal on top that snaps it down. So I don't have any angel share. Alright. Well, what am I going to do with this? Who wants to smell it? Okay, I'm just reading the chat. This is really great. So the Elegante is a bourbon, 36 month. Will work for a bottle of Elegante. Use Jack Daniels. T-Dog says, let it breathe, Lip. Don't be a dick. You know, T-Dog, I hear you. I'm going to let it breathe. But first, I'm going to look at those pearls. Hold it up to the camera, you fool. I will. So look at that. Look at that color. Oh. Ooh. So these are not recharred barrels. So these are Jack Daniels barrels, and then it is in the blending where the flavor and beauty is coming from. Fair enough. All right, so I'm getting a very XA nose. This is a nose that I have smelled before. You know, I'm in a familiar place here. I'm in a familiar place. I'm in my safe zone. I feel like I can be myself here and speak truth. And I feel good about that. Boy, you talk about banana. I was going to go back to the anejo, but it's not fair. We've gone someplace completely different here. We've gone into XA. Tequila Tim! Tequila Tim showed up. Yes! Tequila Tim, how can you not have something to drink? Tequila Tim, do you know that I'm drinking the Partida Elegante? That's all you need to know, buddy. When are you coming to San Francisco? All right, so I'm getting a million flavors now. Everything that was in the añejo has been amplified up. It hasn't been toned down by the wood. It hasn't been stepped on. And I'm just talking about the nose here. Everything has been jumped up way high. I'm getting like almost a leather smell, like a worn leather, like a worn leather, like a worn leather. Like a worn leather cigar. What? Oh. All right, hold on. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. What to say? I know I need to say something. Just give me a minute here. I've come into completely new territory. It's turned on the spice engine like into overdrive. Now I'm getting like almost a cologne, like a spicy, woody cologne. But when I say cologne, I've had brands that taste like you're drinking cologne, Corzo, and that's not what I'm talking about. This isn't manipulated cologne. I feel like the distiller has gone and ripped out true flavors and isolated true flavors out of the wood here. All right, hold on. Vanilla, spice, leather, and the finish that is going on and on. Now this is really interesting. Let me play a little music here because I'm in a little fix. Just for a second. Just let me. Is anybody out there drinking Elegante? Let me just put that out there. Is anybody drinking it? I feel like the flavors are like on a hillside, a beautifully diverse hillside of flavor. Tangerine, tangerine. She was my love. 1,000 years between. What a beautiful ride into a sunset. Elegante. It lingers on the palate with a spice and a citrus and a leather and a deep wood feel, but there's a spice that's lingering on my palate, and now it's coming up to the back of the inside of my lips. I mean, this stuff is working a lot harder, right? It's working for me. It's not laying on its ass. It's doing what it was paid to do. Paid $350 to do. What are you guys saying? Well, Agave Gal is saying, Lip, is this the first time you've tasted Elegante? The tweet. So, Agave Gal, I was fortunate enough to taste Elegante down at the Partida Fabrica 3 years ago when I was down there, and the product had not been introduced yet, but it was after a long day of tequila tasting, and I was not in any shape to remember, and I certainly was not getting these flavors from it. My palate was completely gone at that point, and I'm happy to report to all of you that boy, this Elegante is right here, right now, and doesn't look like it's going anywhere. I mean, yes, you could drink this all night, especially if you were Gary Shansby and you had $20 million, $1,000 billion. But for those of us who are looking to splurge, here's my suggestion to you, my friends. This Elegante is a beautiful experience. And I almost, it's making me a little bit, inner looking. I'm bringing myself down. I don't normally do this. You know, I think that maybe I would do a little yoga, in a hot room with a little neti pot, and I would be sipping this Elegante until I discovered my inner truth, even if it's for only that day, because this is what's happening here. I'm finding an inner truth about this tequila right now. This is one of those tequilas that you hope doesn't get fucked up in the future. Like it's really good, and you hope that some big corporation doesn't come and fuck it up and buy it and cheapen it. Charge the same amount of money, but come on, we all know that story. I'm just like you, and I got lucky and got a bottle, and it's really good. So here's my advice to you. I want you to get a good job, and I want you to cover all of your necessities and needs. And I want you to have enough money to go into a reputable bar. And I want you to sit down and talk to the barman about why you're there. And I want you to tell him the Lip sent you, but that's not the biggest deal. And I want you to buy a glass of Elegante. And maybe it's not the first glass you buy. Maybe you want to work up to it a little bit. But don't get, not too much. 1 or 2 drinks, max. And I wouldn't drink a margarita. The Lip had to really reset his palate. And then I want you to pay for that drink. Because it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it for you to taste it. It will take you somewhere. I know that by virtue of you watching this show and the number of viewers that we have tonight, you are aficionados and you know the difference. It will be worth it. That is my advice to you. I hope you get to try some of this delicious juice. Thank you for coming to the show tonight. I want to thank my wonderful sponsors at Partida. Very, very generous to me and to the show. You've been great. And I couldn't ask for more. You gave me everything I asked for and more. And you make a great product. I will be drinking your tequila for a long time, as long as you keep your end of the bargain up and you make it the right way and the way you've been doing it. I will be drinking it. Can we have a deal about that? And I will tell my friends, if you've got the extra cash and you can afford it, you should be buying that Elegante. Because here's something I will tell you. I had some lingering tastes about that. I snuck a taste last night. I wasn't going to say anything, but now because I'm feeling centered and very truthful and honest, last night I snuck a taste of this. And the bottle came yesterday. How could I not sneak a taste of it? And I was wondering, is it as good as I hope it is? And I got some lingering tastes initially of some of that Cuervo Anejo, a little Reserva de Familia, and a little bit of Gran Centenario. And that's kind of what I thought was in the mix. So I tasted this Elegante, and it was a brand new bottle. I highly recommend letting it breathe, because I let it breathe for about 5-10 minutes. And the first sip from about 2 minutes, because I didn't let it breathe at first. I had to taste it. And the sip that I took 10 minutes later were not very different, not outrageously different, but it had completely opened up like a cloud. And then I went upstairs and sipped some Gran Centenario and some Cuervo Anejo. And I'm going to tell you something. This is not in that ballpark. It's much different. It's much more complicated. It's an event tequila. It just is. It's that good. If you haven't tried it, I suggest it to you. It is an event, and we have had an event here. Thank you again. This is your Agave Tequila Whisperer saying good night. Thank you for coming. I'll do a short Club Whisperer after the show if you'd like to hang around. It would be great. And I'll tell you a little more about any of my flavor profiles. And I'm happy to finish this very slowly, this Elegante. It's a slow and beautiful, supple ride into a gorgeous tequila sunset. Oh, I hope you had a good time. I know that I did. This is your Tequila Whisperer telling you, my friends, suggesting, listen and power to the whisperer.